Hello, Healy family. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so today we are going to start our session on mobility. So we are going to talk about frequencies for bones, joints, and muscles. So as usual, let's do the disclaimer. So the Healy and MagHealy device, they are actually wellness devices, not medical devices. So therefore, we only use it to support and harmonize our bioenergetic field. So if you have any medical concern, please remember, okay, to seek medical advice early and do not use Healy or MagHealy for personal treatment. Okay, so the session here is meant for education, and I'm sharing from my own personal experience from using Healy and MagHealy. So as you use and as you follow some of the steps that I give you, you have to watch how your body respond and then adjust accordingly. All right, so for translation, we have English and Vietnamese translation. So you can go to the icon for interpretation and choose your language of choice. Now, the other way is if you need the text in other languages, you can actually use Google, the camera here, and then you can choose your language, and then the text will actually change into whatever language that you choose. Yeah. Okay, so this session is recorded and will be published on Healy World social media. So for those who are joining us for the first time, hello and welcome to our Healy Advanced Training. I'm Christi Wong from Singapore. My experience with using bioenergetic profiling for my life coach work has been 8 years and 4 years for using Healy. So I have a bit of training in counseling, in meridians. I'm still teaching A-level biology, and I also do wellness training for Healy World. Okay, so after using for 4 years, I managed to compile all the information needed for beginner and those who wants to learn Healy and MagHealy very systematically. These are the 5 books that I've collated available to everybody, and you can check it out from the website. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? 3 things, because these 3 are actually interconnected, and you have to take care of all 3 of them at the same time, because we are talking about movement. So the first component that we are going to talk about will be muscle, how to take care of your muscle. Then the next one will be bones. And then the third one will be joints. Joints. Okay, so let's start with the skeletal muscle. Skeletal muscle, they are found throughout your entire body, attached to bones, and then they're just underneath the skin. So we will watch a video first so that you get an idea how things inside our body works and how all these 3 comes together and work together to allow us to move freely.
The musculoskeletal system, the framework of the body built for structure, movement, and support. It combines bones, muscles, joints, tendons, and ligaments, working together as a single system. Bones provide structure. They protect organs and act as anchors for movement. Muscles generate force. They contract and relax, pulling on bones to create motion. Joints allow that motion. They guide direction, absorb load, and keep movement controlled. Tendons connect muscle to bone. Ligaments stabilize joints, preventing excess movement under pressure. This system is always active. Standing, walking, lifting, even sitting requires support. But it depends on balance. Strength without flexibility creates tension. Mobility without stability creates risk. Alignment determines how force is distributed. Repetition shapes it. movement strengthens it. Stillness weakens it. When balanced, movement feels smooth, efficient, and controlled. When strained, pain appears, stiffness builds, injury risk increases. The musculoskeletal system does not move randomly. It follows patterns. A reminder that the body is not just built to move, it's built to move well. And that strength, mobility, and control must work together to keep the system functioning over time.
Yes, okay, so that's our beautiful body. All right, so now the muscles, they come in bundles, big bundles, all right? And within the bundles, it will be actually made of fibers, lots of fibers, okay? Yeah, until they become very, very fine fibers like that. So they need to contract and relax every time in order for it to work. So how fine are the fibers? If you have eaten or seen meat floss, meatfloss, meat floss, that tiny, tiny little fibers, those are actually the muscle fibers. Okay, very, very small and fine. Okay, now, why do I talk about muscle mass? Because after the age of 25, from 25 onwards, you actually start to lose your muscle mass. Okay, so what happened is, at first you can tell just by looking from the back of the person. You see the thickness of the leg. Over time, you find that as you age, especially those who are very advanced in age, in the let's say 60s, 70s, you find that it is very slender. Their legs become very slender. It's because of muscle loss, okay, or muscle dystrophy. Now, why do we have to make sure that we have enough muscles? Because the muscles will move the bones. So if your muscles are not strong, you won't be able to balance yourself. Okay, it becomes very easy to actually slip, okay, trip and fall as you age if your muscles cannot respond fast enough for you to actually break a fall. Okay. Yeah. So when you look at the muscle, a good healthy muscle should be like the right hand side, very toned, very bulky. So when you put your hand and flex your hands, like the bodybuilders, right? They show off the bulky and the bulging muscles. So good muscles, healthy muscles should have a little bit of bulge like that. So how do you know you are starting to lose muscle? Is when your weight start to drop, or when you see that your muscles become elongated and flat. There is no more bulk. Okay, so that's how you tell. So this is called sarcopenia, muscle loss. So what happened is the muscle mass is actually replaced by fatty tissue. Okay, so if you flex your arm and if you move your arm, then you see that the bottom flesh becomes flabby, and if you keep moving, they call it the butterfly arms. So if it's moving, okay, yeah, then you know that you actually have muscle loss, okay, of the arm muscles. Yeah. Okay, so how to actually increase your muscle mass? We use fitness programs. Okay, in fitness, you have weight. Many people have asked me, is this weight to lose fats? No. This weight is for you to gain weight, to gain mass. And this weight here is for your muscle mass. Okay, muscle mass. And on the middle here, you see muscle. This muscle here is for you to build muscle. Okay, and circulation is to bring the nutrients, oxygen to your muscles so that you can actually improve your stamina. The one below here, this is stamina. So stamina is for what? to prolong, let's say, your exercise, etc. So it helps you to build your glycogen, supply oxygen, supply nutrients, okay, so that especially people who finds that if they walk up the stairs, they are very tired, or when you go mountain climbing, hiking, you can use this kind of programs as well. Okay, and strength is for you to carry weights, whether you're a bodybuilder or just normal things. If you find that carry heavy things is a struggle, you can actually increase your muscle strength. It's also for seniors if your legs are wobbly. That's one. Or sometimes people had stroke, and then after a stroke, they had to do physiotherapy, and you have to learn how to move your muscles, control your muscles again. So fitness programs that I mentioned here are also very good. Okay, so whether you use it in the pink app or the blue app, if you have those issues that I mentioned earlier, use it in the pink app, either using the coil or the electrodes or with the high wave. You can use it in the pink app directly on the body. Okay, but if you have normal muscle mass, you just want to maintain, you can actually use them in the blue app. Okay, now performance here is actually beyond what we use for normal days. These are actually for professional athletes. Okay, when you're running a marathon, if you're a bodybuilder, if you're very serious gym um, enthusiast, okay, then you will use it. You'll use performance, but does not mean that you have to be all that. Basically, anyone can use all these programs. Okay, so somebody asks, do you only use this while you're doing an exercise? No need. You can use it anytime. Even if, let's say, bedridden, there are people who are bedridden or on the wheelchair, or they use the walker to support because their muscles are not strong. So any of these people can use this. All right. So you no need to use it while you're exercising. It will be good when you're exercising to run this in the blue app. Okay, blue app with your exercising, because you're running, unless you use the high wave, you do not want to clip it and run with your Healy because it may drop off. So in that case, you can actually use the blue app. So let's say if you are a sportsman and you're having a competition, then you will use this in the blue app remotely for you. Okay or not? So that actually helps you in your workout. You don't feel that tired. Okay, you can actually exercise for a longer period of time. So that helps you in your regime. So other question is, yeah, you can use with the coil electrodes or with the high wave. Okay, unless you are jumping a lot or running, and then you don't use with the coil, because the Healy device may just drop. Okay. All right. So Madhuri asks, like, for flabby arms and all that. Okay, it is not loose skin all over. It's because you are losing the muscle mass. So therefore, you have to build the muscles, grow the muscles, to fill up all the loose skins. Yeah, that is the way. So the top six is actually during a workout exercise while you're okay. The next two, you can use it after the exercise for recovery. Okay, so regeneration is, for example, there is a muscle tear, a muscle injury, or let's say there is tendon, ligament issues or injury, then you use regeneration. That is for repair and then to put back the muscle for you. Relaxation is when there is a cramp. Okay, if you exercise for too long, over exercise muscles become acidic, so it cramps like this, or you feel the knots, the muscles are tight. Yeah, so that's the time where you use deep relaxation. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that will be for the fitness programs and your muscles. Okay, regeneration is also good to complement the muscle so that you grow your muscle mass. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so next we go to bone joints. It's very difficult to separate bone is bone, joint is joint. They are usually occurring together. Let's look at the structure of the bone first. Okay, so the bone is actually alive, is growing, and there are cells inside the bones, and it is in the bone marrow. If you crush the bones, and then you see inside there's actually soft tissue. The outside is a very hard casing. So the bone marrow helps you to grow bones. For example, teenagers, yeah, somebody was asking about teenagers playing sports. Yes, they can use the fitness programs. So children who are growing, you can actually support their bone growth. Okay, yeah, so it's good. So bones, one is for the bones to grow during the developmental years of our life. And then the second one, the bone marrow also produces our red blood cell. Okay, yeah. So if you're anemic, you also should strengthen and support your bone. All right. Okay, so inside are the soft tissue, and then outside is the hard casing of calcium and phosphorus. So the bone you can see here actually has lots of blood vessels to actually bring the nutrients, oxygen, everything that is needed to actually grow the bone. Okay. Now, when we talk about bone, we are talking about bone density. Okay, bone density. Yeah. So, like I mentioned before, weight is actually good. So if you find that you're losing weight, two reasons. If it's a weight, muscle mass, and the bone density is dropping, then it's no good. Okay, yeah. So healthy bones, you can see they only have very, very small holes. Now, as we age, you'll find that the bones, if you're lacking in, let's say, calcium, phosphorus from your diet, then what happens is that the bones that are less important, for example, or have an excess of calcium, they will actually take from there. So they will actually leach the calcium, phosphorus, minerals from your bone to bring it to other places. Okay, yeah. Then osteoporosis, especially for menopausal women, because you are low in your estrogen, okay, and your progesterone, especially estrogen, your bone growth actually slows down. Now, sometimes for men also, you'll find that when you do your Healy 5x5, if you see estrogen and progesterone appearing, or if you get the child, okay, these are actually, or children, these are actually for your bone growth also. Okay, now women, when you do your 5x5, if you get progesterone, okay, it is actually for your muscles and your bones, okay, because progesterone actually helps to build your muscle bulk, okay? Yeah, so don't be afraid when you get this type of programs, okay? Okay, now remember I mentioned that kidney is associated with bones, okay? Because the kidney has certain functions that help you to absorb your calcium. So it's not how much calcium you take, it
Thì bỏ
is
này ra cho
whether
nó
or
hướng nhỉ?
not.
Không.
Okay, please turn off your microphone. Okay. All right. So it's not how much calcium you take. You know, some of us are like taking calcium pills, okay? You have to have other components as well, okay or not? So over here, let's say if you were to use the kidney, male, kidney, female, either one of these is fine. You see whichever appears in your Healy 5x5. This is in deep cycle. You can also use kidney in other programs as well. Okay, so the kidney help to absorb vitamin D, and then the vitamin D is converted to calcitrol, okay, which helps you to absorb the calcium. So kidney function is important. And then it helps you to remove phosphorus because there needs to be a balance. Too much phosphorus, your calcium cannot absorb. Yeah, so therefore, you need to maintain the balance, and the kidney actually help you to maintain the balance. Okay, so if you find that you have bone joint issues, you will also see kidney programs appearing in your 5x5. Yeah. Okay, now bone fractures. If you have bone fractures, these are the programs that you can use. Okay, the regeneration 1, 2, and 3 here are to stimulate bone stem cells to actually grow, divide, and then repair. Okay, make new cells to heal the bones. And then there's also bone or cell. Cell in the vitalization, bioenergetic vitalization is for all kinds of cells. So you can use either one of these because besides bone, there are also other cells involved in the bone and joint structure. Okay, so renewal in deep cycle, the gray one, this is similar to also the vitalization. So do I use renewal or do I use vitalization? Depends on which Healy edition you have, all right? If you have both, then I would see how serious is the condition. If it's not serious, you can just use renewal, okay? But if it's something more severe and you're aging and you want a faster regeneration, repair, and healing, then you will use vitalization, use more programs so that it will be more intense. Okay, yeah. Joint bone here in Bioenergetic Harmony 2, you can also choose that. Okay, so this is for less serious. All right, yeah. So if it's something very, very serious, let's say the bones actually break into two rather than just a tiny hairline fracture, which programs you use will depend on the severity. Okay, yeah. The last two, structure and mobility, here is actually for nutrition. Okay, nutrition. All right, so if let's say you are more advanced in age and your absorption appetite is not so good, then you should actually complement with digital nutrition. Okay, so otherwise it cannot make the bone. I'll show you later. You need so many ingredients to actually make the bones. Okay. Then bone loss, bone density. Yeah, these are the programs. I will show you later, Avril. All those that is for bone loss, bone density. So for bone fracture, bone loss, bone density, use the one that I'm currently showing. Okay, because you want to let the stem cells in the bone to actually make new bones. Okay, now next one, joint. Okay, we are going into the joint. Knee joint first. We look at the knee joint first. It's a bit complicated. We don't need to know all the structures. You only need to know a few. Okay, now knee joint, there is two bones, right? Yeah, the one on top and then there's the one below the knee. So these two bones, they are in contact with each other. Okay, so because they constantly rub, because we keep moving and walking all day long, right? So they are constantly rubbing. So there must be a protective tissue covering it. So there is a layer like a cap like that. That's called the cartilage. So let's say if you are a meat eater and you eat the bones, you find that this part is the whitish, smooth tissues there. Okay, so that is actually the cartilage. So when the two bones rub against each other, the cartilage will actually protect the bone so that it will not erode, okay, because of the abrasion. Okay, now these two bones, they don't stack on top of each other like this. They are not touching and rubbing each other. A healthy joint like this should actually be separated by about a few 1 to 2 of space in between them by a lubricant called the synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is a lubricant. Okay? Yeah. Then that is actually to prevent abrasion, because if the bones keep rubbing against each other, it will heat up, So that's why you need to have the fluid there. And this fluid is very expensive. Okay, although in that kneecap, knee area, knee joint, you only have a few of the synovial fluid. But let's say if a person has inflammation, and then the synovial fluid dried up, not producing, to get an injection will cost you a few $100s. And then every few months, what I heard is every 6 months, you need to go and get the injection of the synovial fluid. Is expensive. Okay, yeah. Then, okay, so the two bones, when they stack on top of each other, you have to align it properly. Otherwise, when you move, it will dislocate. Then that's no good, out of alignment. So to prevent the dislocation, it must be held in place by very strong tissues called the ligament. So ligament is connecting bone to hold it in place. All right. Then you have the muscle. The muscle attached to the bone in order to move the bone, to lift the bone, etc. So muscle attached to the bone through tendon. So that's the difference between tendon and ligament. Ligament is bone to bone, is elastic. Tendon is muscle to bone. So that's why when you carry heavy things, it has to be slow delivery. If it's fast, suddenly this can break, tendons can break, ligaments can break, and it will take like months to actually repair your ligaments and tendons if they break during some vigorous activity. So you have to be very careful with that. Okay, so programs for synovial fluid will be under all these connective tissue and all the joint parts. Okay, yeah. So let's take a look between the two knee to the two knee. Between the two bones in the knee, okay, there need to be a connective tissue. So you see that in the Healy program, connective tissue, and usually we ignore it. It's like, what is connective tissue? We usually don't pay attention to connective tissue until the pain comes in. So we'll take a look, a video on the meniscus. Okay, yeah. So if the meniscus that you have actually degrade, break down, you'll feel a lot of pain because it acts as a shock absorber. So let's watch the video for a short one.
The meniscus, a crescent-shaped pad of cartilage inside the knee, built to absorb force and stabilize movement. Each knee contains two, medial and lateral. Positioned between the femur and tibia, they act as shock absorbers with every step. Without the meniscus, force concentrates directly on cartilage. Pressure increases. Wear accelerates. The meniscus distributes load. Walking, running, jumping, twisting. It spreads impact across the joint surface, protecting bone and cartilage from excessive stress. But it also stabilizes. The knee is not a rigid hinge. It rotates slightly during movement. The meniscus helps guide this motion, keeping the joint aligned under pressure. Its structure is flexible, yet tough. The outer edge receives blood flow. The inner region receives very little. This matters during injury. Tears near the outer edge may heal more effectively. Inner tears recover slowly, if at all. Damage often occurs during rotation under load, a planted foot, a sudden twist, an abrupt change in direction. Pain, swelling, locking, or instability may follow. The meniscus is not passive padding, it is active protection. A reminder that smooth movement depends not only on strength, but on structures designed to distribute force before damage occurs.
Okay, yeah, so you can see that so many tissues are actually involved. Yeah.
The meniscus.
Okay, so which are the programs that you can use connective tissue? Okay, you see, these are tissues that we don't normally talk about, but they are the in-betweens, you know? Yeah. So you can use under meridian, there is a connective tissue and then joints. Okay, these two, when they put their joint, it means is for everything. That is for the smooth functioning of the joint. So we are not using, like some of you ask, which program for this and that. Okay, so there isn't one program like this is for meniscus, this is for cartilage and all that. No. So you get a joint. When you talk about joint, it basically for all the tissues in that joint area for the full smooth functioning of the joint. Okay. Yeah. So sometimes you may get skin or beauty. Skin or beauty because skin is always associated with cartilage. So you saw just now that inside the meniscus, there are actually cartilage fibers to actually strengthen it and then make it a bit stretchable, but not elastic, but can resist the mechanical rubbing, abrasion, and the pressure, the tension, pulling and the pushing, pressing, and all those forces. Yeah, so you need the collagen. Okay, you need the collagen to actually resist all this. Okay, or not? Then you have tissue, you have stability. These are programs that we don't talk about very much. Okay, so you can use them for all kinds of soft tissues like this. Okay, or not? So in the MagHealy, you have soft tissue. So all these can classify under soft tissue. Anything that's not bone and teeth is soft tissue. Okay, if you do not know which program to use. Okay, now why I put pure and clean all over here is that you see when there's an injury, right? There's a lot of dead cells, dead tissue, and then because the blood is not flowing properly, toxins, okay, rubbish, and all those debris, cell debris are all located in this region over here. So you actually have to clean up. Just like when you have a wound, right? So that when you go to the doctor, they will actually clean up all the debris first before they actually put the antiseptic and then they cover it up with your gauze. So the cleaning process, all this is needed. Okay, arthritis is very common, and then it is a group of joint family of joint issues. Yeah, so there are some horrible, ugly pictures here. Okay, so I warn you first. If it's adjust the sound, if it's too loud for you. So let's take a look at it. Why we should watch is because the joint inside us, we can't see, so we don't know or we can't imagine what is the state inside. So I hope after watching, we will love our joints. We will not take for granted that we can walk without pain. Okay. Yeah. And really take good care
Arthritis,
of it.
a condition affecting the joints where movement is meant to be smooth and controlled, yet becomes limited by damage, wear, or inflammation. In a healthy joint, cartilage covers the ends of bones, creating a smooth surface that reduces friction. Synovial fluid surrounds it, providing lubrication and allowing motion to occur with minimal resistance. In arthritis, this system begins to break down, cartilage can wear away over time, reducing its ability to cushion and protect. Or inflammation can develop within the joint, causing swelling, stiffness, and sensitivity to movement. The result is disruption. As surfaces degrade and irritation increases, the joint loses efficiency. Movement becomes restricted. Actions like walking, gripping, or bending begin to require more effort and may become painful. Over time, the structure can change. Joint space may narrow, bone may thicken, and alignment can shift under continuous stress. Arthritis is not a single disease, but a group of conditions with different causes and similar outcomes, a gradual loss of smooth, stable movement. It develops over time, shaped by use, biology, and internal signals, defined not just by pain, but by the breakdown of how joints are meant to function.
So you can see that by the time you feel pain or when it's inflamed, the structures inside, the injury inside, we can't actually see it. Okay, so don't wait until there's pain. All right, so when you start to feel stiffness, we should actually start to take care of our joints, because once it reaches that painful state, there is a lot of work to do. Okay, now the next one in the family of arthritis is gout. Okay, gout. So you can see here, gout is, just now I show you the synovial fluid, right? So in between the joints, there is actually that tiny little space, fluid-filled space of synovial fluid. Now, you see, when the body actually have all these toxins, if let's say your kidney and your liver is supposed to break down, kidney is supposed to flush them out from the body. If let's say these two organs are not functioning well, okay, all these toxins flowing in the body, like uric acid is actually going to affect your blood pH. So therefore, they have to find a place to actually store all this. And they will store them in between the spaces in your joints. So they will hide them there. You know or not? Yeah. Because why? All the other important organs, if you put the acid there, is going to be very harmful for the enzymes. Enzyme cannot work. So that's why these are the places where it's good to store. It only give you pain. It won't kill you. All right, so that's why they're there. And gout is very, very painful, because when they put a lot of uric acid inside, you imagine just now the synovial fluid, I told you, is only a few ml of liquid inside. So very quickly, it becomes very concentrated. And when it concentrates, it crystallizes. So when it starts crystallizing into crystals, that's where it becomes painful when you step on the crystals. Okay, yeah. So how to help if you ever had gout before? You have to support your liver. Okay, liver, when you have a joint problem, you have to support your liver, you know. And then if you have bone problem, you have to support your kidney. So these organs are actually associated, very closely associated. Okay, so that's why you can use the liver in the meridian liver or bioenergetic harmony liver. Okay, so these two are to clean up. Now, pure also have frequencies for liver and kidney. And then you have the clean all. So basically, this four here is actually for cleaning. The circulation is also for cleaning, is to drain away all these toxic substances, rubbish, so as to clean up this area where the gout is located. All right. Then the rest will be bone joints and joint, that is to restore that whole region around here. Okay, now osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis is where the cartilage has worn away and then bone is rubbing against the bone. So remember, cartilage is just tissue, but bone actually has cells. So when cells rub against cells, it's very painful. That's where you start to feel pain. You see or not? All right. So the bone will degenerate. So you see the gap here. The normal joint should have a big gap. Why is there a big gap? The big gap is because that little space there, what is not shown is cartilage. Cartilage is not visible on the X-ray. So there is a layer of cartilage and then there is a layer of fluid, synovial fluid in between. So healthy joints should have quite a big visible space. All right. Now, when all these are worn away, cartilage get worn away, and then fluid also leak away or not producing. So you see the two bones are touching each other. All right, so this is very advanced osteoarthritis. So that's where it becomes painful. So every movement, every step you take is abrasion. Okay, yeah, they're rubbing against each other. Can you regenerate cartilage? Yes, of course. Yes. Okay, yeah. But you must have the right ingredient. That means you must have the proper nutrition that allow you to grow back your cartilage. That's very important. Okay. All right. So these are the ugly pictures of how it looks very raw because of the bone rubbing against the bone plus all the inflammation. So it's red, it's hot, it's painful. Okay, rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis, okay, is where the joints displace, and this is due to inflammation. Okay, inflammation. All right. Yeah, so you can tell when the joints are swollen. So you can see the finger joints here. All right, every joint junction is swollen. This is because of inflammation. All right, so the liquid between in the synovial fluid actually swell. So it's actually swelling. Yeah, and then the bones actually become bent. So you have crooked fingers, you have crooked toes. That is rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, yeah, programs I'll give you later because they are overlapping. So they're about the same. So I don't want to keep repeating the program. So I'll put them at the back. Okay, so now spine. Okay, let's go to the spine. The spine, you can use the meridian. So you look at the picture on the left, the spine is in the middle. The blue lines represent the bladder meridian. And the bladder meridian is actually parallel to your spine. Okay, so you use the bladder meridian. You can use connective tissue. You can use joints. Okay, joints work for all kinds of joints: finger joints, leg joints, knee joints, ankle joints, shoulder joints. Everything's under joints. Okay, now spine is also bone and joints. Okay, yeah. Now the other program for spine is actually the chakras, all the 7 chakras. Okay, so depending on where your weakness is along the spine, okay, go to that chakra and strengthen that chakra and allow the energy in that region to flow. If you have lower back, then you may want to use the root chakra, the sacral, and then the solar plexus. If it's upper back, you may want to use the solar plexus, the heart chakra, and the throat chakra. So that whole stretch there. So sometimes you, in your Healy 5x5, you actually see chakra. All right. So, when you analyze the chakra, you see which are the ones that appear. So, if you have lower back, you will tend to see more of the lower chakras. If it's upper back, you may have the upper chakras. Okay, or not? So, yeah. So, use the chakras. Okay. So now is to have a better understanding of the spinal disc. They are very important. Okay, yeah. So somebody said they have L3, L4 nerve pinching or press against one another. Okay, so that's why you have to watch the video to see that when your spinal disc, that means the soft tissue between one bone after the next bone. So the bone is actually broken up into small bones. Okay, so that is to give us that very flexible movement for you to bend down, stretch upwards, etc. Okay, now in between the bones are actually disc, spinal discs, and they play an important role. So let's watch the video to see how your spine need this to work.
The spinal disc, a soft, flexible structure between each vertebra, designed to absorb force and allow movement. It is not bone. It is a cushion. Each disc has two parts, a tough outer layer, the annulus, and a gel-like center, the nucleus. Together, they distribute pressure. When you stand, sit, bend, or lift, force travels through the spine. The discs compress and release, absorbing impact before it reaches bone. They also allow motion, flexion, extension, rotation. Without discs, the spine would be rigid, but discs depend on movement. They don't have direct blood supply. They receive nutrients through pressure changes, compression and release with daily activity. Stillness reduces flow. Movement restores it. Over time, hydration decreases. Elasticity drops. Small cracks can form in the outer layer. If pressure builds, the inner material may shift outward, a bulge or herniation. This can press on nearby nerves, causing pain, tingling, or weakness. But this is rarely sudden. It develops gradually, through load, posture, and repetition. The spinal disc is not fragile. It is adaptive, a reminder that the spine is not meant to be still. And that movement, proper load, and alignment are what keep its cushions functioning over time.
Okay, yeah. So you see, we always talk about spine, we talk about bone, but we seldom pay attention to the disc. So the disc that is in between is actually a glue and is also helping the bones to not rub against each other. All right, yeah. Okay, so if anything happens to the spinal disc, there is a possibility of scoliosis, okay, because they are not directly stacking on each other, so they are not held in place. So sometimes it can cause nerve pinching, where if a part of the disc actually degenerated, so it's not something flat and even, it becomes uneven. So what happens is the spine over a long period of time will then starts to curve and move, okay, like what we call here as scoliosis. Okay, ankylosing spondylitis, okay, so it's when the disc actually wears away until the two vertebrae actually touches each other and then rub against each other and becomes inflamed. Okay, yeah. So when the this is no longer flexible, it becomes like a glue, okay? And then it hardened, the two bones become like glued to each other, and then it is no longer able to move slightly as an individual bone. Then you become like hunchback because the bones can be glued together. Okay. Yeah, so bulging disc. So if the disc is not maintained properly, so the excess actually bulge out and then it press against your nerve, so you get pinched nerve. So when you have movement, suddenly, yeah. So sudden pain, sometimes pain that travels down the leg through the sciatica nerve, or pain from the neck that travel to your arm, or it can be numbness tingling sensation in the arm, in the legs, could be because of the nerve pinching. So that means the disc pushes against the nerve and then give you that sudden sensation. Okay, yeah. So this is because of sometimes it breaks down the material inside that make it hard. It cannot be too soft. Too soft is where it starts to slide a bit out of position. So it has to be firm, you know, like mattress like that. Mattress, the spring in the mattress must be firm so that it can withstand the weight of the spine. You see or not? Yeah, so it cannot be soft. The structure in there must be firm and strong. Okay or not? So otherwise it will slip and then your bone goes out of alignment and then press against your nerve. That's where you have a bit dislocation and pain. So what we do is to actually strengthen this material. Okay, and that is sometimes you will get skin, sometimes you will get digital nutrition. Okay, so some of you are asking which program. It is not about which program. So the Healy 5x5 is very important because the Healy 5x5 will detect, you know, are you lacking collagen? Okay, are you lacking in the bone component? Which part is lacking? And therefore match the best program for you. Okay, that's why it's so important for you to master the 5x5 analysis. Okay, now other problems would be what we call the bone spur, tiny little extension or growth. Okay, so this little extension here could be because of the deposits, the calcium deposits, your phosphorus deposit. Sometimes your blood flow is no good, your lymphatic flow is no good. So that's why sometimes you get circulation. Because the flow, when they flow to some of these areas, and then it cannot flow. So a lot of all these calcium, phosphorus, they get deposited here. But that's not where the bone needs, you see or not? So too much, it get latched onto the sides and then it becomes an excess bone growth. Okay or not? Yeah. So that's not ideal also. And then when you have little bones jut out here and there, then it will press against your tendon, it will press against your ligament, it will press against your tissue, and that's where you start to feel discomfort and pain as you move. Okay, now frozen shoulder, this is your shoulder joint. Okay, yeah, so this is a very important joint because this is where you need to stretch upwards, sideways, down, carry heavy things, lift, rotate, everything is here. Okay, it is a very well used joint. Okay, yeah, so if you start to feel pain, okay, let's say you cannot move your hand to the back, cannot lift vertically like this, then it becomes like this, then you know that you have frozen shoulders. So this is when the connective tissues become thickened and tightened. And many times it's because of circulation. Circulation of the bioenergy, circulation of blood, okay, circulation of the lymphatic fluid. Yeah, so then it will cause all the hardening, okay, cause all the hardening. Okay or not? Yeah, so circulation of qi or bioenergy is very important. So for the circulation of bioenergy, you use all of these meridians that I've indicated here because they all move along, they flow along here, so it will affect the bioenergy, it will affect blood circulation. Now, when you carry heavy handbag, okay, we normally carry on one side, right, our handbag. Okay, so the weight of the bag is constantly pressed against on the meridians around here and will keep blocking the flow. The other one is backpack. When you carry heavy backpack, so the strap is actually pressing against this meridians. So it will affect blood circulation, lymphatic circulation, and the bioenergy circulation. Okay, then babies, nowadays they have a harness for you to actually put your baby and carry the baby. So the weight of all these is actually pressing along your shoulders, along here. So when you constantly have weight pressed against all this, so these areas will be affected. Okay, so the pink line here, this is the small intestine. Okay, if you feel aches and pain on the back, and then the orange one is the triple heater. The triple heater meridian, you will find it actually in the MagHealy. All right, MagHealy Meridian program. They have a triple heater or triple warmer. Then the gray one is your large intestine, and then the green one here is actually your gallbladder. Gallbladder. So all these meridians, if you have frozen shoulders, use them. Okay? Yeah. Then the muscles around here will be the soft tissue. This is under McMakin if you have soft tissue. All right. Then you have neck joints around here. So you can put it at the neck joint. Now you can use the neck program, but your MagHealy, sometimes you can put it directly at the neck area. Sometimes you move it, you just move it towards your shoulder. Okay, so you just lie down on the couch against the chair or on the bed, and then you just put the MagHealy directly on your shoulder joint. Okay, the back, and then put it also on the front of the shoulder joint around here. You can also use joints. You can also use tendon. You can use soft tissue. Okay, because soft tissue will be for all the cartilage and all the fluid, and then blood vessels, circulation, all this you can just put them directly on the area where you have the problem. Okay, or not? Same thing. If it's an elbow, also you can do the same thing. Okay. All right, trigger finger, carpal tunnel. Okay, this is because of inflammation of the tendon. Okay, tendon. Yeah, tendon is actually a soft tissue, collagen. So what happened is inflammation may actually cause swelling. So when it swells, it cannot move smoothly. So it gets stuck here, the nodule. Sometimes they call it a knot, K-N-O-T, a knot. Yeah, so sometimes there are people who do the deep tissue massage. So they will use a blunt equipment. Okay, so they'll go into those deep tissues and then they will try to unknot it or promote the blood circulation. Okay or not? Yeah. So you can use tendon. What you do is, if it's a carpal tunnel, trigger finger, carpal tunnel has to do with nerves. Okay, nerves being entangled, and it's usually because of all this swelling, and then the tendon as well, not so it get entangled, knotted, so therefore you have to undo it. So sometimes for carpal tunnel you may have to unentangle it using surgery, but you can try first using the MagHealy or the Healy. If it's the Healy, you just hold it with a coil in your hand. Or if you can just use the high wave is easy because high wave is highly penetrating. You just wear it this way, or you wear it on the inner side, and then just allow the frequency to help you to clear some of these issues. If you have MagHealy, you can directly hold it on the hand that is affected. All right, so you can use any of this. So stiffness of finger joint, you can use joints. Okay, use joint like all this. Use joint and then hold it on your palm. hold it on your palm. So depending on where is the pain. So on your palm and then on the back of your palm. So you do both sides, okay? Both sides. Yeah, numbness, all this is because of one, the bioenergy is not flowing properly. Okay, second is because of the circulation and then the lymphatic. Okay, so use all these programs as well. Yeah. Okay, so for bioenergy movement, there are 6 meridians on your hand. So on the inner side and then on the outer side. On the inner side, okay, lung, if you have thumb issue, if your stiffness, your pain is on the thumb, then you use the lung meridian. If it's your middle finger, you use the pericardial meridian. If you have it's on the little finger, then you use the heart meridian. Okay, so it's very easy. It's just very logical. You just follow. If the back of the hand here, if it's your index finger, you use large intestine. And then the ring finger, you use the triple heater. And then the little finger, you use small intestine. Okay, so little finger, you use both, heart and the small intestine. So it depends on where is the stiffness, which finger is affected for the trigger fingers, all right? Where is your stiffness? You just use them accordingly. Okay or not? Yeah. So the question is, can we use MagHealy directly on the skin? Yeah, yes, you can use the MagMakin. Okay, just hold it in whichever, on your palm, your hand, if that's where you have the stiffness and the discomfort. Okay, if there's no holding capacity, numbness on the fingertips, your nerves, okay, work on your nerves, work on your meridians, work on circulation. Okay, any other questions for fingers? No. Okay. For bone spur just now, you have to clean it up. That means you use pure, use clean oil to clean up. So that's why usually when you start using the Healy, we always ask you to use the pure. Okay, many parts of the body you should actually do cleaning up. Until today, okay, I will use pure every day because there's a lot of need to clean up. Okay, so those of you who ask a lot of questions about program, okay, so the bioenergetic vitalization, this is a protocol that is given by the company, all right? This is for full body regeneration, okay? Especially age is very advanced. Okay, age very advanced, meaning that or your situation is very advanced. You know, there are certain people who met with accidents and then, yeah, so parts of the body, bones get crushed, injured, broken. Okay, pain very intense. It will be good for you to do a complete overhaul and do a very good repair. If you have multiple health issues, Vitalization is a program where you can do a good repair. Okay, now to do a very good, intense or deep regeneration, you have to spend a bit more time. Week 1, you use Regeneration 1 3 times in that week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or you choose any 3 days alternate, depending on when you start your cycle. And then week 2, you use Regeneration 2. Week 3, you use Regeneration 3 times a day. Okay, now each set of programs here will actually activate and trigger different set of stem cells in the body, different organs. All right, but I do not know which is for which. So usually we encourage you to do all 3, Regeneration 1, 2, and 3. Don't leave them out. Okay or not? If you want to be very, very fast, okay, you can use in one day, like week 1, instead of just using one program, you can do regeneration 1, 2, and 3, but you split it up morning, afternoon, evening. Regeneration 1 to 3. Okay, in a day. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then after the 3 weeks, now why do we need 3 weeks? It also depends on your situation. All right. If you're very young, okay, let's say in your 30s and 40s, you don't need the 3 weeks. Okay or not? You can do like what I mentioned, do regeneration 1 to 3 for 1 week, and then after that, you can go on to the rest. But if your body is very advanced in age, you cannot rush it through. You have to give the body time to actually start responding. That's why you actually need the 3 full weeks of regeneration. Okay or not? So not everybody need to do 3 weeks of regeneration. So it depends on your age. All right? How many stem cells are still active? Yeah. The more active stem cells that you have, then you don't need 3 weeks. You can cut down. Okay, now after the stimulation will be, okay, you use 2 programs a day. All right, so you basically rotate the 2 programs. So you start with epigenetic and stability. Now, epigenetic is for the environment. So it's to clean up the environment. Stability is to actually strengthen those that are already good, stabilize it. Okay, pineal. Now, why pineal is for sleep, right? So why do you need pineal? Because during sleep, that repair and regeneration takes place. So that's why sleep is very important. Babies sleep 90%, 80% of the time. That's why they grow very, very fast. Okay or not? So that's why they put your body into deep sleep first. That's why you use sleep first on week 4. Then cell is for all your cells, all the cells in the body. Okay, yeah, so you want to stimulate because all the organs are actually interrelated. So that is the first week of the repair regeneration process. Okay, all right. Now, week 5, then only you go into your bone nerve. Tissue is actually for all the soft tissues, all the synovial fluid, all the cartilages, the tendon, your ligaments, all this is under tissue. All right. Then after that, you see bones. So this is really for the bone cells. Then nerve. Nerve is for coordination. Yeah. Then week 6 is where everything. Youth is basically your whole body. Holistic is also all for the whole body. Okay or not? Yeah. So this is basically an overhaul of your body. Yeah. Okay. Now, nutrition, I mentioned about nutrition. I talk about collagen. Okay, so some of you, I think there's one question that asks, which program is for one nutrient? No, we don't talk about one nutrient. We don't talk about, oh, just take calcium, or just take uh, collagen. Okay, you need many components. To make collagens, you need proteins, amino acids. But if you were to just take amino acids alone, it's not good enough. You must have all the vitamins, okay, that I listed here. All the vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin E. You need copper, you need zinc to stabilize and strengthen your collagen fibers. Okay. Then minerals for bones. So it's not just calcium, phosphorus, and zinc. You see, you need copper, you need iron, you need magnesium, manganese, you need selenium. Okay or not? Yeah. So therefore, it is important, and D3 as well. It is important for you to analyze using the resonance analysis. You go straight to digital nutrition and then ask the Healy to search for you the 5 that you need. Okay? the 5 that you need. All right? Yeah, so it's not about which one will give you the magnesium or which one will give you whatsoever. So all these are all blends, mixture. That's why it's called digital nutrition mix or mixture, because it is by function. Okay, like let's say structure, which is for your bones, so it will have the full set of nutrition that you need. And then the delivery, Healy will deliver the frequencies that you lack. Okay or not? Yeah, so that's how it works here. So if you want all the minerals, is under minerals. All the vitamins is under vitamins here. Okay, yeah, so amino acids is here. So how do you know which one you need to take? You know, is do the analysis. Yeah. So sometimes you will see, hey, how come this person is 80 years old and then get child? Okay, now look at the child. What does the child needs? The child is actively growing muscles, growing bones. Yeah, so that's why you may be 80 years old, but you may be given a child. Okay, what is trace elements? Trace elements are actually minerals that occur in very little amount. Like just now I mentioned manganese, molybdenum, okay, Mb, okay, yeah. So these are those that are found in very, very small quantities that we don't even talk about. Yeah, so those are actually trace elements, okay. And we need them in small quantity, and it's not easy to absorb from the food because in the all living organisms, they exist in very, very minute amount. Okay, so therefore, you need the analysis. Okay, so, okay, Vaishali asked about this one. We backtrack a little bit. For week 1, only one program. Well, if you're using a full complete overhaul, week 1 only one, regeneration 1. Week 2, regeneration 2, week 3, regeneration 3. But I did mention that if you are 30 years old or 40 years old, your body is not yet in such a bad shape, okay? But maybe you had a fall, okay? And you need to just address certain issues quick and fast. Then you condense the 3 week into 1 week, okay? Where you can do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? Daily, or you can do 3, regeneration 1, 2, 3 each day, like this to speed up. So different condition, different state of health require a different protocol. So that's why I don't usually give people protocol, because I have to evaluate your condition, your age, everything. Yeah. Okay, so how many times do you do the protocol just now is until you see the improvement. All right. Yeah. So you start with that 6 weeks first. And then after that, whether you need to extend or no need, it depends on your situation. But you may not need to do the full 6 weeks all over again. By then, you will see what is the situation and then pick and choose, okay, according to what appear in your 5x5. Okay. Yeah. So, uh, okay. All right. Now, all the programs. Just now, I didn't mention some of the programs. Okay, so these are all the programs that you can use for bone, joint, muscle. Do you need to use all of them? No, 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 no. You don't use all of them. That's why your Healy 5x5 becomes very important. Okay, so here, these are all the possible programs that you can use for bone, joint, muscles, for your movement, etc. Which one you will use depends on your Healy 5x5. Okay, if that program appear on this list, then you use them in the pink app. Okay, use them in the pink app. Yeah. Okay, so over here, you may actually get skin and there don't seem to be any skin problem, right? Yeah, so skin is actually for collagen. So it actually stimulate collagen repair, collagen synthesis. Okay, so therefore you may actually get skin and beauty. Okay, connective tissue, joint, skin harmony here. This is under meridian 1. Okay, yeah, so any of this I've mentioned earlier, so I won't repeat. And then, okay, somebody's mic. Okay, then this 4 here, meridian 2, nerve. Nerve is if you have pain, so you may need to repair your nerve. If there's an injury, surgery where your nerve is actually cut and you need the nerve because the nerve actually sends neurotransmitter to your muscle to communicate with your muscles when to contract, when to relax. So that's why I put nerve over here, circulation, and then liver, kidney, I've mentioned before. Now the gray area here, this part is under deep cycle. Okay, deep cycle, kidney, male, female is for bones, and then pure calm, nerve. Renewal is regeneration, clean all is for cleaning, free flow is for your circulation. Okay, not? Yeah. So, depending on which edition that you have, you use according to your edition. Yeah. Okay. Then the green portion here, this is under bioenergetic harmony. All right. So sciatica nerve or nerve, same thing, same programs that you have, right? But the difference is meridian. When they say meridian nerves, these are the meridians that support the bioenergy for the nerve. If you see nerve in harmony, they are actually function of the nerve cell. Okay, or not? So there are slight difference in the programs. Okay, if you have MagHealy, then McMakin have a lot of, McMakin have a lot of programs that you need actually for movement because McMakin programs are actually meant for sportsmen and recovery from their injury. If you have the Obsidian, all right, and you have the McMakin Plus, there's also this one, spinal disc. Remember just now I talked about the spinal disc. This is the one and only program here specifically for the spine. Okay, and the spinal disc, joints, and then body flexibility. So the black dot that you see that I put there is to tell you that is for the Obsidian only, right? Okay, if you have pain, you can deal with the pain first, okay? But don't just work on the pain because that's temporary. Because if the inflammation, the degeneration, everything is there, you can bring down the pain, but the pain will come back if you do not heal that particular area. Okay, so pain is temporary to bring it down so that it's easier for you to move, but you have to actually do the healing repair of the tissues. Okay, now it has been long known. Actually, it all started with athletes, helping them to recover and to deal with all their muscles, aches, and pain. Microcurrent stimulation has been used for decades. Okay, I think it would be easily 20, 30 years ago that they started using microcurrent electrical impulses. So they found that it actually helped the muscle function and actually speed up the healing of bones, of skins, of muscles. Okay, so these are reports to show you that these are proven, tested methods. Yeah. Then in the Healy, we have local stimulation. So this is the set of programs where you have to use the electrodes and you use the gel pads, okay, and put it near the area where you have the pain. Okay, so yeah, so program 2 is for your spine, back pain, and then program 4 is for any of the joint pains, okay, whether it's your shoulders, whether it's your knee, your ankle, etc. As long as it is a joint, you can use that. Now the picture will show you to actually put it behind your neck at the shoulder junction, right? So you can put it there if the area of your pain is near the area. But let's say if it's a knee joint, you can actually bring the patch and then put it on one joint, one knee joint, okay, in between top and bottom, and then you paste it there so that the current can actually focus on that particular area. Okay or not? So local stimulation is not meant to send to places that are far. Local means it's a locality. It's a fixed locality where you identify that location and then you put the gel pads in between that location where you want to send the frequency and the microcurrent to. Okay? Yeah, so you can move the gel pads around. Okay? Yeah. So the rest of the programs, you can use it either in the Blue app. You can also use it using any of these methods with a coil, with the electrodes, or with the high wave. Okay? Or with the MagHealy. Okay, so yeah, so I've covered most of the common joint issues, but I did see some programs. Okay, Gil asked rheumatoid arthritis, right? It will be this set of programs here. Okay, for the inflammation, rheumatoid arthritis, first is the cleaning one, pure clean all, clean it first, okay, for inflammation. Then somebody asked about 2-RY, 2-RY, Pamini asked, 2-RY is secondary. Secondary substance is actually antioxidants. So if you have inflammation, if you're using the wait, my thoughts skip because I saw another question. So the antioxidants, okay? So you can use the nutrition antioxidants or secondary substance. These are actually plant antioxidants. So you can use that to reduce your inflammation. You can also improve circulation around there so that there can be more repair and nutrition being sent to that particular area. Okay? All right. Now, before I answer all the questions, let me finish up the information first for the following weeks, and then after that, I will answer the question. Okay? Yeah. So, there is a slight change for the later half of the year, okay, because I've been requested to also do Chinese session as well. Okay or not? So now the schedule for this later half of the year will be like this. First week, frequency and friends. Second week, English session. This week, like that, is second week. And then the third week, next week, is a Chinese session. So I'll be covering this one, bone, joints, the same session. It will be done in Chinese. Okay, the Vietnamese will be together with the English session. Okay, and then all these recordings, you can find them in Healy World Learning Hub. Okay, but it will not be immediately because the company has to make sure that I am compliant in what I share. And then once they get the clearance, they will put the video into the Healy World Learning Hub. The other place where we'll try to put is actually in the Facebook Experience Connect. Okay, so we'll try to put in both places. Okay, then if your friends need different languages, you can go to the YouTube and then select text, subtitles in whatever language that is needed. Okay, and then the third week, remember our third week is usually the question and answer session. Okay, so it will not be a question answer sessions anymore for the later half of the year. It will be another session. Okay, another session. Okay, so the 23rd of July, we are talking about the new product, 0 Hertz, the sleep mask, and the sleep app. These two. Okay, so I'll do all the demo and then show you how to actually use it. So for those who are interested, you can invite your friends to actually come in to understand how to use and the purpose of using the mask and the app. Cannot. So all these sessions, basically, you can invite your friends. Okay, it doesn't mean that they must have the Healy, So sometimes, actually, by listening, they find that, wow, Healy can do so many functions, so many things, and they might become interested. Okay? All right. So now I'll open it to question, answer, and if you have a good response with Healy, you can actually also share your experience as well. Okay. So let me take a few more questions. I have to end by 6:45. Okay, let's see.
Hi,
Okay.
Christi.
Yes, Mona Lisa, Vinisha. Okay.
How are you, Christi?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, you have a question? Vinisha, do you have a question? No? Do you have a question?
Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Christi, how are you, Christi?
I'm good. I'm good.
Christi, I'm actually, going through a cycle where I'm having acidity, then my stomach is being burning, then I'm getting constipation. It's like, it's like a cycle. Then some days it's good, then some day it's back to normal. I gave the blood test and everything for H. pylori. The result has come negative.
Mm.
So I am a bit confused. How do I go about it with the Healy programs, which could help me?
You have to first do the Healy 5x5.
Okay, do the Healy 5x5. Okay,
Yes.
and how often we do that?
Uh, you can do it like once a week or once in 2 weeks.
Once in a week or once in 2 weeks? I'll just note it down. Okay, five
Mm.
by five, once
Yeah.
a week or twice. Okay, and
Yeah.
then
So you have to look for programs, because 40 to 60 is actually good. So if
40
there
to
are
60
programs,
is good.
yes. So if you see anything that's 60% or higher than that, you see which are the ones that are related to your issues of the stomach acidity. Okay, now, so it can be gastrointestinal. Okay, it can be your stomach meridian. All right. So you will see what comes out in the 5x5. So 60% or more, you're going to use it in the pink app. Now, if this issue has been for a long time, it may actually appear in the lower percentage, like 30%, 20%. Okay, so if it's too low percent, you also need to use it in the pink app as well, because it has been for quite a while. Okay.
So I choose those programs which is lower than 40. Then do the 40-60 one, right?
No, the 40-60 is actually good. All right.
Okay, do first
40-60,
those. Okay.
40-60 is already good.
Okay.
So you don't actually have to use them in the pink app.
Okay.
Above 60, the higher, that means the more disharmonized it is. 70%, okay, 69%, 65%. So all those are urgent. Okay. Above
Okay.
60 is very urgent. So you use it directly on the pink app. If they are below, like very low, 30% and all that, you use that in the pink app, because those places, the energy is quite low. You got to bring up as well.
Okay, and with all this, I feel so scared to eat because I don't know what is suiting me and what is not suiting me. And it's like, does this happen during the pre-menopause or menopause time?
I don't think so. All right. I don't think so. Yeah. So you have to look at the 5x5. Okay, and then the MagHealy as well. You try using Body Comfort. Do you have a MagHealy?
No, I don't have a MagHealy. I have Healy Evolve.
Healy Evolve. Okay. You can use release in the Go cycle when you have that pain, but you actually have to see the 5x5 to actually know what is your actual condition. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. And if there's anything, if I'm not able to understand, and is there anything where I can, check or put a question on the Facebook or anything? Is it there?
Yeah. You can, we have the Facebook Connect, right? So you can
Yes.
actually drop the questions there. And then if I have free time, then I'll just go there and answer for
Okay.
you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I will try this, what you told me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your question. Mona Lisa, you are next. Okay.
Hi, Christi. Nice, and
Yes.
actually, the explanation was very good. It catered to my need, but still, I would like to ask a question. First is similar tingling palms, pain in fingers, not able to, you know, bend my fingers easily, especially early in the morning, or else
Uh-huh.
when AC is turned on, also I get a lot of trouble.
Mm.
Okay, and it started with elbow, what do we call tennis elbow, then went to trigger finger, and then now the whole palm and the joints and all are paining. So when I showed to doctor, they conducted some tests and they said it's vitamin D deficiency, but
Mm.
then it went away with treatment, but again came back. So now
Mm.
they did some nerve conduction test, and they came out with the suggestion to undergo surgery of the wrists. Just now you were telling, no, something, some carpal tunnel syndrome, something you were telling just now.
Ah.
Along with trigger finger, you were telling a term. What is that? Some tunnel you were using, carpal tunnel or something, where the entangle.
Carpal tunnel. Yeah.
uh So where the entangle of nerves happen, right?
Yes.
uh So that is where they have recommended for surgery, but I would like to go for Healy and MagHealy first.
Yeah.
So apart from that, I also have knee pain and stiffness in knee. When I bend the knee, a sound comes, tuck 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 sound comes. Okay.
Mm.
So are the programs separate for both, or we can take some common programs for both?
Yeah. If you have multiple joint issues, fingers, shoulders, it sounds like a lot,
No,
right?
I have only in my palms, I mean
Ah,
the fingers and my knee. That's all. Nowhere else I have pain actually.
okay. When there are multiple location, you check your 5x5 to see whether liver keep appearing. That means all kinds of liver, whether it's harmony liver or whether
Okay.
it is a pure um, clean all, meridian liver, and all that. Because
Okay.
sometimes it is not one location. That means if you go to the root of the problem, is actually the liver issue. Okay or not? But it
Mhm.
actually appear in multiple places. So if you work on there and then you work on the knee, so your attention actually get diffuse.
Diverted.
But actually it is if you work on the liver, it may actually solve most of your problem. Okay or not? So
Oh,
you
okay.
have to see if liver keep appearing in your 5x5. So it may actually be a liver concern. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Apart from that, any specific meridian? I'm taking always like joints
Yeah,
and
like I
pain.
mentioned, right? If it's this, your fingers,
Yeah.
right? I show you the picture just now, or
Yeah.
whichever finger, you just use that. But if you have multiple fingers, I would say that you just do all the 6 meridians along your hand. Okay, so that will actually help you also. Then for your nerve, you use all the
Yeah.
nerve program, okay, nerve and meridian programs to see. I hope it will help you in your nerve entanglement. And then for the legs, the knee, right? Actually,
Yeah.
there's also another 6 meridian there. Okay.
Okay.
The shortcut is when you use meridian, you use joints. That is the
Yes.
shortcut where you don't have to use individual meridians.
Okay.
Yeah.
I keep doing that. So my tingleness is too much actually. When I hold something, it just keeps tingling.
Mm.
So I don't understand whether I'm having
Yeah,
sensation in my hand also or not.
yeah,
So
yeah. Because it's the tingling is actually because of nerve. And then
mm,
liver, okay, liver is very interesting. Liver affects your eye, it affects your nerve, it affects your joints.
okay.
Yeah. Kidney affects your brain, affects your hair, affects your sex organs, okay, affects your bones.
Kidney, huh?
Yeah, kidney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have
And your
too much of
ears.
hair fall actually.
Yeah. Okay, not
Okay.
so. Yeah. So that's why the smarter way is to do the Healy 5x5 to see which programs actually comes out. Instead of doing 10 programs, so sometimes the Healy 5x5 will just pinpoint for you. You actually just need 5 programs if you follow the Healy 5x5. You see, Anna?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
And
right.
another question is, yeah, thank you so much. Another question is my father. He was suffering from Parkinson. He's almost out, I believe, but only problem is he's not able to walk. That he walks like a duck walk, they say, no? So, and every time he feels as if he's slipping down. So he needs
Mm.
something to hold and walk, and it's very difficult. He has stopped walking, so stiffness of backbone has probably occurred. So
Yeah.
he feels when he places his foot down, it's sticking on the ground.
Yeah. So today's session is actually good for him. All right. So because he has to strengthen his bone joints, his muscle plus nerve. Parkinson is also partly because of the nerve as well. So this
Mm-hmm.
four, yeah, if you run regularly for him, it can actually help him at least strengthen his footing, his muscles. Yeah, because sometimes they can't lift. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Any MagHealy program? McMcKean program?
Yeah, my McKin, like today's session is
Yeah.
really all of my McKins is all there. Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Thank
Thank you so
you.
much. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thanks for your question. Nitya?
Hi, Christy. So good to see you. Thank you so much for the session.
Hello.
So I have two questions, Christy. You were mentioning about the percentage, right? Like anything between 40 to 60% is good. So for me, most of the time, all the percentages are between 40 to 60 only. It has never gone 60, more than 60 or not below 40. So in that
That's
case,
a good
should I
sign.
run all those programs or should I skip all those programs?
Okay. Because if everything is within 40 to 60, all right, then I'll look for 58, 57.
Okay.
Okay, Anna? If all good, meaning that your pink app is actually optional. So you can just run them on the blue app. That means your
Okay.
health is basically quite good. You see?
Okay.
Yeah. So you can still
I'm good.
use the pink app, but it's optional, you see? That means it's by choice. Yeah.
Okay. So on
Mm.
my other than the 5 by 5, should I do any other analysis on my own and see, or I will just need to run them in the blue app and just close it off?
Okay, you do the 5x5, and then if all is okay, then it's up to you. That means you just intuitively feel like using any program, it's just use. Okay or not? So that means you have the freedom of choice. Your health is good, so up to you to pick which area you want to do a bit more support lah. Yeah,
I get it, Christy. Thank
yeah.
you. And
Mm.
one last question. Actually, there's one person who has got like the nerve compression problem and multiple metals and screws on his body. On his wrist, he has one, on the chest, on the spinal cord, everywhere. So in that case, for Healy, he cannot use the Healy Highway one electrodes. But he can use the coil, right? Even if he has the metal on his chest, can he use coil for Healy?
Yes, yes, they can use the coil. They
Okay.
can use the blue
What
app.
should be the percentage, Christy, for coil for him?
Okay, for coil, the percentage is actually the area of
Okay.
coverage, you see or not? So it is depending on body size. All right. So usually we'll just turn it to 100% if it's slightly bigger because the 100% means 50 cm radius.
Okay.
Yeah. So coil is not about the intensity on the body is the
Mm.
area. Yeah, so it's okay to go to
I get.
100%. Yeah, so coil is safe, blue app is safe.
Yeah. How about the MagHealy, Christi? Can that boy can
Yeah,
use
yeah.
MagHealy directly on the body?
MagHealy is similar to the coil. When you
Okay.
put the MagHealy on the body,
Even
it's
the
similar to using Healy and coil.
okay, right above the where the surgery has been done, even there they can place it, right?
Yeah, yes. Okay, so if let's say
Okay.
there is a metal there, if they are concerned, if they are new user, if they are concerned, always start conservative, meaning below 50%. Just put 20%, 30%. If they don't feel
Okay.
any discomfort, then it's okay. All right, they have to understand their body first. Yeah, don't rush, no need to
I
rush.
yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Christi.
All right, thank you for your question. Nital, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Christi, ma'am.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. What's your question?
See, myself is suffering from, means I get my MRI done in May. My L5 S1 disc space is just 6 mm. And from L5, L4, L4, L3, L3, L2, L2, L1, it is either 11 or 12. And the disc between L5 S1 is moved out and is ruptured also.
Mm.
And I have used bioenergetic vitalization protocol once.
Okay.
And from last week, I have started 5+5 again. By
Mm.
this time, I'm going to physiotherapy also, and I'm taking medicines as well. But by this time, my physiotherapist is saying us that 80% is recovered. So, shall I go for MRI again to see how much progress has been done?
Okay,
Or
are you in pain? Do you still have pain and all that?
pardon me?
Are you still in pain?
Yes, I still feel pain in my buttocks.
Okay.
Earlier, the pain used to travel through the back of the thigh, but it has never gone below thigh, means below knee.
Okay.
That
All
pain
right.
has completely gone.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
there is a certain points in my buttock, I still feel pain 24/7.
All right. If there's still pain, continue with using the Healy and all that. I would recommend that you still go back for follow-up. Okay, whether you need another MRI or not, let your doctor decide whether they need
Okay.
to look at the MRI. Okay, or not? So you should still go back for follow-up. Yeah, but
Okay.
it
And
looks
one
like
more,
it's giving you some good progress over there. That's good.
yes.
Hmm.
And one of my prospects' husband is suffering from PSP.
Okay, what is
PSP
PSP?
is, just a minute, huh? It is progressive supranuclear palsy.
Progressive supra. Okay. Yeah, what about it?
So she was asking means whether Healy can help in this or not.
Okay, this is a degenerative brain disorder,
Yes,
nerve
yes,
cell
yes.
is damaged and all that, right? So basically, all these cells, actually diseases, the name of diseases is what for reference we give. But actually the root of the problem is the cells, right? Cells, when they don't get what they need, circulation issue, okay, or damage, aging, they're not functioning. So what we do is we support the cells. Okay, now, so learning programs is good.
Okay,
And the other one is the mind wave program. Mind wave is
okay.
for all parts of the brain. And then we
So
have
if
so
she,
many, we have so
so
many
if
nerve
she,
program. Yeah.
yes.
Mm.
So if she is ready to buy, she must buy Obsidian. Na?
Oh, that I can't say that the person must buy obsidian, okay, because
Okay.
everyone have their own budget, okay. So work within the budget because every Healy edition has that programs, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I normally don't impose which edition. I say you can start from anywhere, and then
Okay.
okay, so I work within the edition that they have, which programs they have, and we can work from
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then the blue app has all the
The
programs. So if they
vibration.
don't
Okay.
have it in
Right.
the pink app, they can continue to use it in the blue app. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And ma'am, can we get your email ID sometimes if
You can ask in the Experience Connect. Okay, you just post
okay.
the message there. Okay, I'll try to go there and answer the question. Then everybody can learn as well. Okay, Anna?
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. One last question. Okay. One last question. Pretty.
Hello, am
Yes.
I
Yes.
audible?
Yes. I can hear you.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
hi, Christy. It was a really amazing session, very learning. One question, though, this is not about the joints. One of my close relatives is having severe cirrhosis. And even after all the 5 by 5 and specific from the search module, itching is really disturbing him a lot. So, would
Mm,
you suggest something very specific for itching on the skin, which is disturbing his sleep a lot?
okay. Now, psoriasis sometimes may not be a skin problem, because I have had one case where this person has skin issues. But when I see this person, I say, hey, but I can't see which part of the body actually has eczema and psoriasis and all that. She said it was so bad that the palm is actually wet, okay? Because the blisters, the liquid actually flows until this whole palm, she said, is always sticky, yellow, and wet. She said, I use all of Healy's skin program. Any program that says skin, she says that I've used them all, but not a single one helped the skin program. Until one day, she quarreled with her boyfriend and she went to use conflict balance. And after using conflict balance for one session, she noticed her palm became dry.
Oh, wow.
So every day she started to use conflict balance and her skin became healed from conflict balance. So if this person has used the skin programs and it doesn't help, okay, emotions. Okay, work on the emotions from the resonance database. You have mental balance, you have soul cycle, deep cycle. These are all emotions related programs. Aura is also emotions related. Okay, or you can see what actually comes out in the 5 by 5. Okay, now you trust the 5 by 5. Really, you have to trust the 5 by 5. And it may be a totally unrelated program that actually solve the issue. Yeah. So usually we use skin, right? For psoriasis. Yeah. If it does not give you the improvement, if you don't see improvement, usually I'll change. That means that's not the set of frequencies that you need. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So
Thank you.
any others? No more?
Thank you
Hi,
very much.
Christi.
I
Yeah.
had a basic question. So, I don't know what is the 5 by 5.
Who is talking? Okay. Yeah, I
Sanjeev.
saw a couple of basic questions. Okay, this session is Healy Advanced Training.
Yeah.
So all your questions that I don't have time to answer today, you go to Experience Connect Facebook, go and post your questions there. I'll answer your basic question, which I cannot answer here because the people here are too advanced. And then I'll answer
Okay.
in the Experience Connect. Those who didn't get to ask your questions here, I'll answer it in the Experience Connect. Okay, because of the change in structure, we don't have a Q&A session anymore. So I'll try to address some of your questions there, but not immediately. As and when I have time, I'll just go there and reply as many questions as I possibly can.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for attending this session.